in that moment, I thought, well, what are the two things that I could pair up in order for me to accomplish the things that I need to accomplish? Welcome to the Sacred Living Podcast. I'm your host, Leonie Dutoy, an expert in awareness and intuition. As a transformational coach, spiritual teacher, and healer, my mission is to help 1 million people tap into their own inner power. Join me on the sacred journey as we explore the tools and modalities that guide us through awakening, healing, and growth. In each episode, we'll delve into the spiritual foundations, inner work, and the path to awakening abundance. Discover how your spirit senses, awareness, and intuition can help you cut through the confusion of waking up, navigating the overwhelming amount of information out there, and bring clarity, ease, and purpose into your life. Let me bring you the tools, techniques, and guidance to support you on your own spiritual journey. Let's walk this beautiful and sacred path together. I want to start the podcast by saying two things, and they're both gratitude. So the first gratitude is I am so grateful for the rain. We have just had a downpour here, and it's just still raining a little bit, and it's just lovely. I love the sound of the rain. I love the freshness of it. And as I'm doing this podcast, it's 6:30 in the morning. And I've been up since 4:30. The second gratitude is my car. I'm grateful for my car. I'm grateful that I have a car that can take me from point A to point B, and so that I can stay dry and warm. And this will kind of lead into the podcast. So I'm a bit of a homebody, and I am definitely an introvert for the most part. There is an odd occasion that you will find me being an extrovert, and kind of just, I suppose, when I'm comfortable with the people around me, I'll be more open. But generally, I'm a little bit of an introvert. So for me to get out the house and go do things, get out the house and go for a walk and things like that, it takes a bit of effort because I am comfortable at home. And so over the last, actually probably about a year, maybe a little bit more than a year, I've also had some changes in my health, and not big. It was just I would get these like hot flashes, and I wasn't sure if it was an allergic reaction to something. And I at some point over the last like year and a half, I was also on the ketogenic diet, and I came off of that, and shortly after that, I just picked up so much weight, and I was confused, and I didn't know what was happening, and I also knew that I wasn't exercising much, and so there was just this whole lot of stuff happening. And I found out later that I wasn't even in perimenopause, like I was already in menopause. And because of the fact that I had a hysterectomy this was like 7 years ago, I didn't have the periods to check and to know that I was transitioning in any case. So here I am in menopause, and I've started picking up weight, and going through all of this, I've also had huge shifts in my business, and creating the academy and creating the podcast and just working with one-on-one clients. So there's just been this big push, and I haven't really paid attention much to like taking the next step in regards to my health. But now that I'm kind of settling into, and I've got systems in place with the academy and my business, and things are flowing beautifully, and we're like halfway through Sacred Beginnings, and the students are having massive shifts, and it's just like it's this beautiful experience. There's been this big push and this big pull for me right now around health, and really taking care of myself, really coming back into and looking at some of the health stuff and exercise and getting out the house, right? So I know that I'm a homebody, and I know that it really takes a lot for me to take that first step to get out the house. So in the back of my mind, I knew that I needed to take action and start doing things. So one of the first things that I started doing was to get a rebounder for home. So I needed something at home, something that I can do while I was at work, at my desk here at home, and I knew that I was going to get on and it was going to be gentle on my body to just ease into it. It was also going to help me on different levels. So if you haven't done rebounding is really gentle on your joints, and it is really good for your lymphatic system. And to be honest, if you do a little bit of nervous system regulation, you can actually use the rebounder. Well, I use it for that as well. So if I feel stressed or I feel a little bit overwhelmed or something comes up, I literally just go and hop on the rebounder and just stand there and bounce for a little bit and kind of just take a few breaths and kind of just work through what's happening at the moment. So that's one of the things that I've done. The other intention was to, now that we're switching over into summer and it's lighter earlier, is to get out there for morning walks again. And then from time to time, I will go out and do some hikes with the girls. We enjoy hiking. That's the one part of it. Now, over the last couple of weeks, I've noticed there was a couple of podcasts that I listened to, and they mentioned Atomic Habits. Now, I've had it sitting on my bookshelf for ages, and I think I got into like chapter 1 or 2, and then I put it down, and I never go back to it. And then I felt drawn to going back and listening to it. So I didn't have time to actually sit down and listen to it. So what I did is I bought the audiobook as well, and I popped it in my ears while I was doing some graphic stuff and, having a cup of coffee, and just, I think I was out in the garden as well listening to it. So I wanted to listen to it. And what he talks about in the book is pairing something that you really want to do with something that you really have to do. And if you haven't read the book, I highly recommend you do it. So what I've done was I sat and I was like, I know that I need to get out the house, first of all, because if I don't get out the house, I'm never going to go walk. I'm never going to meet new people. I'm never going to network. I'm never going to, meet a new life partner. I'm never going to do the things that, or accomplish the things that I need to by meeting new people. And in that moment, I thought, well, what are the two things that I could pair up in order for me to accomplish the things that I need to accomplish? And I was like, well, I know that I need to get more exercise. I would love to get more exercise. I really want to just, get my body moving and just do what's better and focus on my health and my well-being. And I also know that I need to, and I'd like to meet new people, and I would like to network, and I would like to, just build relationships on a different level. So I was like, oh, how can I put these two together? So then I thought, well, what I could do is I could create an event and I can commit to this, because if I put an event out there and I commit, I know that I'm going to show up. This is not just me saying, okay, every Wednesday morning I'm going to go for a walk. And then, when I open my eyes in the morning and it's cold and I don't want to get up, I'm not going to go. This is me committing. So what I did was I created an event, and I reached out and I said, look, I'm going to base it on the Power of Nine that Chris and Laurie Harder talk about, and they do it on their morning walks. And it is 3 gratitudes, 3 things you're excited about, and 3 things you're manifesting. So that's the one rule that I put in place for this morning walk. So I invited people to come on this morning walk. It is an early morning walk, so it's people that I know that get out there. They're early birds like me. They also entrepreneurs, they introverts, they people who want to connect and meet new people, and people who just need, that community. People who need a place where they can go to. So I set the event up and I said, well, this is the rule, is that when we go on this walk, we need to share the Power of Nine. We need to share the 3 things that we're grateful for, the 3 things that we're excited about, and the 3 things that we are manifesting currently. That was like the rule for this walk. So I set the intention, I created the event, and this morning was the first morning that we were meant to have the walk. So I opened my eyes this morning and it didn't rain. So I was like, right, it's not raining where I live at the moment, so I'm going to get dressed, I'm going to show up, and I'm going to go for this walk. So whether anybody shows up or they don't, I'm still committed to showing up just in case somebody's there, right? So I got up, went all the way to the coast. It's about a 20-minute drive. I got there, and as I stopped the car, it started drizzling. And I was like, look at that, it's raining. Now, the one thing that I said in the event was that if it's raining, I will not be there. Now, it wasn't raining when I left home, but it was raining when I got there. And I smiled because it was just a beautiful moment of taking a moment to recognize myself, that I showed up, recognize that the rain showed up as well, and that it was perfect. And I just sat in my car and I just enjoyed the rain, just enjoyed seeing the little bit that I could, because it was still a little bit dark, how the rain was coming over the ocean, how it just sounded on the car, and just I took a few breaths and I just appreciated the moment. And I was grateful for the moment. Now, if you remember what I said in the beginning, I was grateful for the rain and I was grateful for my car. Because when I came back home and I stepped through from my garage into the kitchen, I wiped my feet on the little mat that was there, and I realized that, well, I didn't even have to wipe my feet because my feet weren't even wet. And I was just like, I'm so grateful that I could go all the way to the coast and all the way back and be safe and dry. So there was just this beautiful moment. But yeah, so we I told this exact story about Atomic Habits and how I paired the two things that I wanted and needed the most in this time to create this this system of accountability, the system of showing up, the system of actually achieving this. As it was a mindset. So last night we were talking about a little bit about mindset. So I shared this story, and I thought that I would share it with you guys as well. So what is something in your life? Where is something in your life that you can actually pair one thing that you know that you want to do and something that you have to do? Or how can I put it differently? Because I think it was in the book, it was more around, like, you know that you need to get exercise, but you would rather sit and watch TV, and then pairing the two together and going, okay, maybe I'll get one of those walking pads to walk while I'm watching my TV program. So I think that was the premise of the book. But how can you bring things together to support you on your journey, so to support you in your business, to support you in your relationship? How can you create environments? How can you create moments where you can empower yourself? Another example could be, for instance, as I'm sitting here, I've got my cup of coffee next to me. I love coffee in the morning. I put some cream in there. And in any case, so as I'm sitting here, I've got my coffee next to me, and I've also got my rebounder in front of me. So something that I can put in place is, for instance, before I have my first cup of coffee of the day, I can, while the kettle is boiling, because the kettle takes like maybe 2 minutes to boil, I can come and jump on the rebounder, which it might not be like exercise, like we would say exercise, like doing like half an hour walk or whatever. But that 2 minutes on there can help flush my lymph, which would eventually, and inevitably, help me with my healing journey. So we can put little things like that into place where we can create little moments during our day that can support our healing journey, or support our relationship, or support our business. So what can you think of? How can you bring a couple of things together and create moments of empowerment like this for yourself? And I would love to know. So you can drop a comment below the podcast. Let me know. Share different ones. Maybe you've done this before. Maybe you've read Atomic Habits. Maybe you've been doing this for a while. So why don't you share it with the community? Because when we share it with the community, we get other people thinking. That's the reason I did this podcast, because I want to get you guys thinking. It's bringing awareness to actions and habits that can empower us, that can support us, that can help us on our journey. And if you're an introvert like me and you find it hard to just step out the house and you need that encouragement to just take that first step, because once I'm out the house and I go for a walk, I really enjoy it. I know that I feel amazing afterwards. Once I have gotten out the house and I've driven like 40 minutes to get up into the hills here in Perth to go for the hike, I know that takes a little bit of effort, but once I'm there, I feel amazing. But for me, it is taking that first step. Here's another way that I did it, and I actually did it yesterday. So I was working and I'm creating sacred healing for next year. So I'm creating content around that. I'm also creating the monthly membership at the moment, the meditation membership. So I'm working on a little bit of that. Plus I'm creating and showing up in Sacred Beginnings. So there's content I'm creating around that. So I'm quite busy. But yesterday I had a moment, probably around 11 o'clock, where my energy just shifted. And I was just like, I just do not feel like working on anything. And I will get these days from time to time. And on the right day, I will just switch off and I will go, you know what, I'm just going to take the afternoon off and I'm going to just be okay with it. I'm going to honor my energy. I'm going to honor the fact that I just need to, my brain doesn't want to brain right now. So what I decided to do was go outside because it was nice and sunny. I watered some of the plants, and then when I came back, part of me was like, I really need to just continue creating. And the other part of me was like, no, I want to just sit on the couch and watch a movie. And then I was like, how can I make this work? So what I did was I've got two screens that I work on here with my computer. So what I did was I put a movie on the one screen just to have it playing in the background, just to kind of appease this part of me that wanted to sit down on the couch and watch a movie. So what I did was I had the video playing on the one screen, and I opened up on my laptop, I opened up the work that I was doing, and it was pretty much just creating PDFs, so copy and pasting and creating PDFs. And I was like, that's easy to do. It's a no-brainer. There's no real thinking about it. It's just copy and paste and doing the editing around it. So what I ended up doing was I ended up doing the thing that I really wanted to do with the thing that I knew that I had to do in that moment, or that I get to do because I get to show up, I get to create the content for the students within Sacred Beginnings and for the students that are kind of come through in Sacred Healing and for the monthly membership, right? So there's all these things that I get to do and I'm excited about, but I had this moment where I just didn't feel like working. So I kind of paired the two up and I was like, right, I'm going to put the movie on. It was something that I've seen before, so I didn't really have to give attention to it, but it was also just playing in the background. That's how I used it yesterday. So it shows you that you can use it in so many different ways when you think about it. You can kind of pair things up, do two things together. If you love watching your evening show and you know that you also need to go for a walk, maybe you just get one of those pads, walking pads. Like it's not as big as a treadmill, so you can hop on the walking pad and you can walk while you watching your show. If you like with the exercise, maybe you can do exercise and networking together. There are so many different ways out there. So I encourage you to go and have a look and see where can you implement this into your day. Maybe hold this kind of, because I think now that I've read the book and I've seen the power of this, I see the potential for this. So it is kind of a tool that I have in my tool bag right now, and I can implement it whenever and wherever I need it. And I know that it's going to benefit me, and it has already benefited me in a few ways just in the last couple of days. So where can you do this? How can you empower yourself? If you've done it before, let me know in the comments. I would love to know how you guys implement this, and share it with your friends. So with this podcast, I would love, love, love if you guys can share the podcast with other people. My goal is to reach 1 million people through helping them tap back into their awareness and their intuition. And sharing these podcasts with you brings awareness to life, brings awareness to mindset, brings awareness to healing, the journey, and everything that we have in this and on this beautiful journey that we're in. And talking about the sacred life, if you are new to the spiritual journey, or you are kind of just in the beginning stages of this journey and you are eager to learn and you want to know more about the tools and techniques and modalities and things that can support you on this journey, Sacred Beginnings is our flagship program that teaches you these spiritual foundations. And we are halfway through the first round of Sacred Beginnings, and it's launching again next year in January. But the students already, we're 6 weeks in, the students have had massive transformations, tapping into awareness, tapping into their intuition, getting to know what their strongest psychic gift is, learning about affirmations, learning about the power of words, learning about we're going into crystals, and I've got some amazing guest speakers coming on and having to present some of the topics, some of the modalities for the students. But just the way that their mind has shifted already, the way that they've reframed the understanding of how awareness can shift and change your day when you wake up really focused and aware on where your thoughts are. The change has been it's been beautiful. Seeing their faces, seeing those moments of realization in the students when they talk and they share about their own experiences have just been beautiful for me. So if you're interested and you want to learn more and you want to find out more, join the Sacred Beginnings waitlist. The link will be in the comment section for you in the show notes. Join the waitlist, and as soon as we open the doors up in January, I will send you an email to let you know, and you can register for the live Zoom call where I tell you all about it, and then you can make a decision and you can join us. And then the other thing that we also stepping into, which is also part of the sacred journey that we're on, is Sacred Healing. Now that launches in February, and this is going to be a deep dive and into healing, discovering your bodies, discovering your blocks, discovering your patterns, diving into, the things that stop you from creating the life that you want. So we will bring in, we've got, there's 3 experts that I have already. I'm waiting for another 1 or 2 to come through, and we're going to be covering things like nervous system regulation. We're going to be diving into how human design can show you who you are. It's like a blueprint for your life. So there's a lot you can learn from there. We'll have a breathwork facilitator in there who can come and teach you and tell you all about breathwork. We are going to have an expert come in to support you through inner child work. So there's going to be so much in Sacred Healing that can support you on your journey. And the beautiful thing about both these programs, both Sacred Healing and Sacred Beginnings, is that it's lifetime access. So when we run these programs twice a year, you can hop in and you can come and do the work again, because life is about layers. It's about peeling back the layers one layer at a time. And at every layer, at every level of your development, there is going to be something that comes up that you need to look at. And you can use both these programs to support you through that. So you can literally come back twice a year to work through your stuff, if you want to put it that way. The link for Sacred Healing will be available very shortly. So keep listening to the podcast. Keep in touch, subscribe to the newsletter. I don't send a lot of newsletters out there, but if you're subscribed, or if you've, for instance, downloaded the guided meditation from my webpage and you are accessing some of the free content, you will be able to receive the notification for the waitlist or Sacred Healing going active. I am super excited about Sacred Beginnings, and I've already seen the impact that it's had on the students already. So I can't wait to bring it to you guys again next year, twice a year, and the year after that, twice a year and keep growing and keep sharing and keep helping and supporting students, beautiful people like yourself on this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful journey and the sacred life. And sacred healing, the potential that it holds within that container to support you on your healing journey, to support you through the things that are holding you back, limiting beliefs, the blocks, the patterns, anything, little traumas from your past, anything that is not supporting you, the potential for working through those twice a year in a container with experts that come through to support you and give you the tools and the techniques to help you grow and heal. It's just like, I am so excited. I cannot wait to see what this does. And within that container, there will be a lot of coaching as well. So we will take individuals, there'll be hot seat coaching. You'll have opportunity to sit in a space where we help people live in real time go through their stuff, and guaranteed that when you are listening to how one of your fellow students are being coached in that moment, you are going to find huge value in that as well. So if you are interested, stay connected, stay listening to the podcast, follow me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, find a way to stay connected to me so that when we open the doors and when we launch Sacred Healing next year, that you will be the first to be notified of when we open the doors and how you can register for the Zoom call and get to know what this is all about. And then also with the monthly membership, the meditation membership, if you are constantly looking for new ways to meditate or new themes or topics or ways to dive deeper into your own spiritual development, the monthly meditation membership will do that for you. So each month I will send out a guided meditation that has a topic or a theme around it, where I will guide you through that journey. And then I will also give you a PDF or a workbook with some journal points and prompts that can take you a little bit deeper into that journey. So keep listening to the podcast and stay connected, and you'll be the first to know when we launch the monthly meditation membership. Okay, beautiful soul, that's me for today. Let me know in the comments what you are grateful for. Let me know how you are going to pair one thing that you don't like doing with one thing that you do love doing, and the outcome of that and how you feel after doing it. If you found value from this podcast and the other podcast, I would love if you can share it with your friends and your family and share the message. Let's share the awareness. Let's bring the awareness to the world through this beautiful and sacred journey that we are walking together. Thank you so much for listening to the Sacred Living Podcast. If you loved the show and found value from being here, please share it with the world so we can help others on their spiritual journey. Please rate the show. It will only take a few seconds, and it will help the Sacred Living Podcast reach more beautiful souls like yourself. Let's reach 1 million people with this message that they can live their best life if they use their spirit senses, awareness and intuition. Making the world a better place starts with knowing ourselves and living guided by our soul. Stay in awareness, be open to your intuition, and live an abundant and blessed life. Until next time, beautiful soul. If you're new to the spiritual path or looking to deepen your spiritual practices, Sacred Beginnings is the perfect place to start. Launching again in January 25, this transformative 12-week program is designed to help you build strong foundations that will support your growth and awakening for years to come. In Sacred Beginnings, you'll embark on a journey through essential spiritual teachings and practices that focuses on the two most important senses, awareness and intuition. These senses are at the core of everything that I teach because they are the keys to truly unlocking your spiritual potential. Explore topics like awareness, intuition, grounding, clearing, psychic abilities, chakras, crystals, past life regression, awakening abundance, and so much more. Each module is thoughtfully crafted to guide you step by step on your sacred path, providing you with the tools and knowledge needed to awaken your spirit, heal old wounds, and grow into your true potential. Where the world talks about manifesting, we focus on awakening abundance. Yes, we use similar steps, but our emphasis on awareness and intuition is what truly makes the difference. This missing link will empower you to tap into the real power of manifesting. With live sessions, guided practices, a supportive community, and the opportunity for personal coaching, you'll experience deep transformation in a nurturing and sacred environment. Don't miss your chance to be part of this powerful experience. Go to sacredlivingacademy.com and join the priority list to be the first to know when we open the doors to Sacred Beginnings. Or simply click the link in the show notes. Your sacred journey awaits. Get ready to step into a new chapter of spiritual growth and empowerment.